Hi, how are you doing? I'm Mars, welcome to my channel. So for this video I'm building a creepy abandoned hospital for the Sparks challenge. So the challenge is creature creation and you have to build somewhere that a creature would live. So I already did 2 stylist entries for this and I'm going to link those below. I really wanted to do a build as well, particularly because I haven't actually done a build yet on my channel. So this really inspired me, and my immediate thought when I was thinking about a creature and its home was, probably because it's Halloween, but I was thinking like an abandoned hospital that like an evil presence has made its home, so whether that's demonic presence or poltergeists, I just had this immediate thought of, I guess, like something you'd see in a horror movie. So I had this idea where as soon as this hospital was built, like it was really state of the art, all new technology, and then kind of immediately weird things started happening. Patients and staff were just creeped out, things steadily got worse and worse until eventually the place was abandoned, and people were so scared that they wouldn't go back and actually remove any of the equipment. So everything is still there, like the computers in the waiting area are there, the surgical equipment, everything's still in the hospital like it would have been when it was open, but it just looks old and damaged. Yes, that was just the immediate idea that I had, and then I started googling pictures of abandoned hospitals to try and get an idea of what to do, and kind of the outside. I saw one picture in particular where it had like the spiral columns on the outside, so that's kind of where I got the outside of the build from. And then on the inside here, I spent most of the time at the beginning just placing everything down like it would have been, and then after I had placed everything in the whole build, I then went back into each room and started to make it all spooky looking. So yeah, this is just like a really cool build. It took me so long. It took me, I think, about 8 hours, thereabouts. I did it over a few days, so the editing was quite a challenge, because normally when I'm editing for this channel it's like something in CAS, or it's my Let's Play where I don't tend to have that much to edit down, but this was many hours, so I kind of jumped from room to room a bit because I just wanted to show some of the main bits that I did. Obviously I wasn't gonna release a 7-hour video. I really took advantage of the debug menu for this, and that is so handy. I don't think I could have done it without it. Like all of the equipment, obviously, and then there's so many little touches that you get in the debug menu, like the hand sanitizers, fire hydrants, lots of the signage as well. I really used to try and just make it look as much like a real hospital as possible. Yeah, and then I just had a lot of fun, as I said, on this. It was not the type of build I'd ever normally do, because normally if I'm building I just build residential usually, or I might do a commercial lot, but it will be something my Sims will actually use, like a bar. But you know, Sims aren't really gonna hang out here. But that was the fun of it, I guess. Yeah, I'd really hope to have this up by Halloween, because I think the Spark Challenge is over tomorrow, 3rd of November, but just it took me too long to edit this and get it finished, so I figured I'd still put it up anyway, even though we're technically not in Halloween month anymore. But I know for me Halloween is like one of my favourite times of year, so while some people might be looking forward to Christmas now, I'm still very much in that, no, it's still Halloween mentality. Give me another 3 weeks, and then I'll start looking forward to Christmas. Yeah, so I did there as like a ward, beside it is a surgical room, and then I put in a maternity section and a restaurant. I really just tried to think of everything I could. Like, obviously it's nowhere near the size a real hospital would be, because I didn't think there was a need to have like multiple wards and surgery rooms, but I just tried to put in as much as I could to make it really look like a hospital. And then I used quite a few packs for this. Some of the main ones I used was City Living. I used for the wallpapers because they're the damaged looking ones. Then Vampires I used, you can see here, I used a lot of the wall decorations to make the walls look cracked and have water damage, and I put cobwebs everywhere. Just tried to make it look really just as like nobody's been looking after this place at all. There were some doors I used from Strangerville that look all damaged and cracked. I thought they looked cool, but then I used some other doors as well, and I layered a lot of the cracks and cobwebs on top of them to make them look damaged. Yeah, because one thing in The Sims 4 is a lot of the stuff just looks really nice and clean. So then it was kind of a fun challenge then, taking all of the furniture that looked brand new and kind of trying to make it all look like it's been sitting there for years. It's damaged. So I had this idea as well for this place that it's spooky, it's haunted, whatever presence caused people to be afraid while this was a functioning hospital, it's still there. So it's kind of become an urban legend, so you'll get ghost hunters coming in to check it out, get teenagers breaking in to have parties and regretting it. I very much pictured it like there's going to be rubbish everywhere. When I'm doing some of the extra decor after this, I put cans everywhere, like people have been breaking in and drinking. And then there's certain things just left behind, like people have been so afraid that they've either not stayed there very long or have maybe not made it out at all. Yeah, so I'm still just going over everything now. I really went to town with the cracks and the water damage. I just was like, I want this to look as old and creepy looking as possible. I do go back in and remove all the lighting as well, because obviously there's not going to be working electricity anymore, but I just kept all the lights in while I was building because obviously it made it a lot easier to see what I was doing. So I hope you guys all had a good Halloween, despite the fact that I guess most of us couldn't really do anything, fortunately. Yeah, another thing I used as well is I put loads of the mouse traps, or not mouse traps, the mouse holes from City Living as well, so when this lot is in live mode you should have mice running around as well, just really make it look, yeah, not a nice place for your Sims to hang out, but I did have a lot of fun with it. I used those piping as well from City Living, so there's a lot of rusty looking pipes because I really wanted the place to look just kind of older. Like at one time it was, you know, fancy and high tech, but so much time has passed, everything looks damaged. I used some of the equipment from Cats and Dogs as well, because some of the veterinary stuff is damaged because they have the like cheaper vet stuff and the newer vet stuff, and the cheaper equipment looks kind of used, damaged, so I put some of that in as well, because the hospital equipment from Get to Work is a lot newer looking, so I really just kind of wanted to put stuff in to make it look like, yeah, this equipment has been sitting here for years and it's gotten damaged over time. So more cobwebs, just cobwebs everywhere. Yeah, the debug menu is just so good. For some reason, I put that little surgery table in. I think it's like the, you know, where your Sims give birth, and then it disappeared when I came out of build, and I had to go back in and put it up again. So this room here is where I imagined some of the braver people who've broken in have had parties. So they'll set a fire, but there's just like empty cans everywhere. One thing I wish we could do is, because you know you can move objects up and down, I really wish you could tilt objects, because it would look a lot more realistic if things like chairs had been knocked over and stuff. Unfortunately you can't do that. So I just tried, as I said, to use as much kind of clutter and cobwebs and stuff to make it look as damaged as possible. Oh, that garlic. I kind of had this idea that someone will have heard the rumours of how haunted this place is and left the garlic there to try and ward off evil spirits. And then those doll heads are just creepy, so I just had to put them in. And then I just went around and just added rubbish, food waste, clothing piles, just all over the place. Again, just to really show how many times it's been broken into, just how gross the place has gotten over years. Like I imagine wildlife will have gotten in there as well. I also added a lot of stuff from Not So Living Eco Lifestyle, you know, because they have the newspapers all over the floor, things like that. So as I said, I really did use a lot of packs for this. But I think I kind of needed to try and make it look the best I could, really. Like obviously the main one would have been get to work, but I really did use a lot of them. Then I added books everywhere, so it looks like bookshelves have just been knocked over, things are just everywhere. I think that's seaweed I used, but it just looks gross, so I thought it worked. Even though I don't know why there'd be seaweed there, but whatever. So I'm kind of coming up to the end here a bit. I kind of just continued adding more stuff for a while, so I think I cut the video off now in a moment, because you know, you don't want to see this over and over again. I added the graffiti as well, again, just to really show people are breaking in. Yeah, I just thought that really helped make it look like people have been breaking in. I'm just adding a few more bits, moving the lights. I gave it the haunted trait and the creepy collie trait, and I think the off the grid trait as well. And then I added candles to kind of, because you need a bit of lighting in there so you can see it. So I just thought candles, lanterns, they're the kind of things people would bring with them when they came in to this hospital. Maybe, you know, ghost hunters brought lanterns with them and then dropped them either when the presence has gotten them or they've ran away. So yeah, as I said, I'm not like 100% sure on what is in here, but I think you can imagine some sort of ghostly evil spirit. So if you do want to download this, it's up on the gallery under 0 Marade 0. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye! Hey again, real quick. I did not know the Sim was in the building when I was taking photos, and she actually scared the crap out of me. So maybe this place is haunted. I don't know. Bye!